I had a joke. We don't have to include it.
What was your joke?
So three men walk into a bar. Two come out. We go inside and we look for the third guy, but he's nowhere to be found. What happened to the third guy?
I don't know. He's drunk and passed out.
No, he's not in there at all. There's no one in there.
You said 3 guys walk into a bar.
2 come out. What happened to the third one?
He's not gay.
What?
The other 2 came out as gay. Right?
Go ahead and start.
What was the joke?
What's the answer?
Yeah.
I don't know. I came up with that on our drive home one day. So
Okay. So I guess we're doing this.
yes, we are.
Alrighty, welcome guys to the Vows and Voices podcast. We're supposed to do that. We're supposed to do that together. Let's do that again. Welcome guys to the Vows and Voices podcast.
Woo! Let's get it.
Episode 1. We're so excited to be starting this podcast. And in this first episode, we just want to talk a little bit about ourselves, kind of a little bit of an introduction, tell you what the podcast is about and why we're starting the podcast. So if you're joining us right at the beginning, or if you're joining us maybe later on, you discovered this podcast and you backtracking all the way to episode 1, hey, we appreciate you being here as well. So I'm gonna throw it over to you, ladies first. So
yes,
you want to introduce yourself first?
Welcome everybody. So my name is Oge. I'm 26 and I'm a wife and a mom, and I love just talking to people, encouraging people, sharing my experiences with people, listening to people. So we look forward to having, more conversations with you guys. So yeah, we are excited because this is a long time coming. Yeah, we definitely excited to get this up and rolling. And let's see, a little bit more about myself. I love tennis. I love cooking.
Okay.
Love hanging out with fam, watching movies,
Yeah. Nice. And I'm Jeremiah.
Hey, Jeremiah.
I am 27 years old, and I am what did you talk about?
Talk about yourself.
I'm a dad. Yes, I'm a dad and a husband. I am a Christian content creator as well, and I'm also a musician. So what do I like to do? I like to read, even though I don't do it very often. I like to watch movies. I recently picked up golf, so that's a work in progress, but we're working at it. And I think,
what instruments do you play?
I play piano mainly.
Okay.
And I dabble in guitar and drums.
All right.
Yeah. So
no saxophone yet?
No saxophone. In future, I want to learn the saxophone, but
got it.
Just a few things now. I just love music. So yeah, we have a son, right? We have a son. I said it right, like I don't remember. We have a son called Judah, and we are the Mensahs. So I'm Jeremiah Mensah, and once again, we're just excited to have you all here. We just want to go straight into talking about what the podcast is about, what our mission is, why we're starting a podcast. So, okay, why are we starting a podcast?
Because we like to talk. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We just like I said a little earlier, we like talking to people about, hey, this is a better way, or this might be a way to look into. And then based on our research, based on our learning, we're not experts by any means, but hey, this is what we've learned that works, and this is the things that we have applied in our marriage, and this is how it worked out for us, and this is the things that we wish we didn't apply in our marriage, and this is how it turned out. So do with it as you would. And even in dating, talking about what we experienced and how we overcame certain things, and hopefully it can shed some light onto maybe some areas that might be confusing for you.
Nice. Yeah. And speaking of our marriage, we've been married for about 2 years now. 2.5. No, not 2.5 quite yet, but just over 2 years. And so we're not, like Oge said, we're not experts. We're not coming at this as people who think they figured everything out. Right. So our mission in a nutshell is just to share our journey. And we like to say that we want to help people win in marriage by sharing our journey and the lessons that we're learning along the way.
Yeah.
And so it's not like we have everything figured out, but we want to kind of, as we're going along, give you the tea, try and be honest, and
we should have made some tea. Now I want tea.
No, don't do that. Right. That's a bad joke. But we just want to share everything that we can, and hopefully help some people out there, because frankly, we see some interesting advice out there. If we're honest, it's low-key trash advice. And it's not that we know everything, but when we try and see how that would apply in our lives, we're like, no, this doesn't really work out. So why are people giving this kind of advice to other people? And why would someone follow this? And so in a way, we just want to dilute what's out there and try and bring some real, tangible, practical advice to marriages and relationships, and just kind of lend our voices to that,
to the conversation.
To the conversation.
So if you're dating, if you don't even know what to search for, this is definitely the podcast for you. If you have been dating for a while, thinking of marriage, wondering what it's gonna look like, this is definitely the podcast for you. If you're one couple years in, 1 to maybe 7 years, this will be definitely the podcast for you. And if you're all the way in there and you're like, maybe there's some things I need to revisit, we hope you glean some things, but ultimately we just want to share, hey, how do you find someone that is even worth your time?
Right.
Navigating the world of so many, females and so many males out in this world, we are here to give you these are the things to look out for type guidebook. And hopefully it helps.
Yeah. Right? Again, we didn't get married in like 1980. And so we are with the times, and we know the struggle of dating in today's world and with social media and things like that. And we know the struggle of, navigating a lot of things in this time. And so we just hope to be able to share that with you. But why is it called the Vows and Voices Podcast? Do you want to take that again, or should I go ahead?
I got it. Okay. I got it. So the vows is mainly referring to your commitment, definitely just holy matrimony and the marriage, covenant, and breaking down what that means, what that requires, what is expected from making that promise. It's not just, I've unfortunately today sometimes just looked as a piece of paper or a contract, and just really dissecting marriage as to what its original purpose and intention was. And then the voices, it talks about everything other than you and your spouse and God. That is everything outside of that is voices. That includes relatives, culture, society, pressures, expectations, your expectations, even your your characteristics or traits that are going against your union, and things that, some selfishness. So it literally talks about anything that could stand in the way of a blissful home with your spouse. And that is why vows and voices, because they oppose each other, because one wants to exist, but the other won't let it.
And really, it's vows versus voices. But try saying that 3 times fast.
Vows versus voices.
Yeah, that's right. That's why we're going vows and voices. And we just want to remind those who are already married, or those who are seeking to get married, to treasure their vows and trash those voices, because those voices are not for you. And that sometimes that might even include ours, because everyone's marriage is different. And like we said, we're not experts. We just talk about what we're experiencing and how we think it's applicable today. So if our voices are contrary to what is working in your marriage, then trash our voices too. We're not coming at this as people who know it all, but hopefully, like Oge said, you can glean something from us. So what are some topics that we'll be going over in this podcast?
We will definitely delve into healing from a broken home, navigating, love life, navigating your emotions, conflict resolution, what it means to respect, what it means to honor in regards to your spouse, what the healthy place to put your family members. We're going to be touching on that. We're going to also be touching on things that are a good thing to keep in mind when you are thinking of marriage, in regards to what do I need to start getting ready now, even in my single life, in my dating life, we are 5 days away life, And then we're also going to talk about culture. We are going to shed a light on certain things happening in society. And did I miss anything?
Oh no, I think you covered a good chunk of it, but eventually we'll also be taking questions and trying to answer them. And y'all can reach out to us on social media. We are at Vows and Voices Podcast on TikTok and Instagram, and also on YouTube. You can also email us at vowsandvoicespodcast@gmail.com. All of these will be linked up in the show notes, but we just want to keep this episode very, very brief. Do you have any last thing you want to say?
Not really. We
Okay.
we hope you get to be a part of us. You get to learn from us, love with us, laugh with us, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that'll be it for this episode. We'll keep it super brief. But before we go, babe, did you know that parallel lines are so good for each other? But it's a shame they'll never meet. All right, guys. We'll
Have
see
a good
y'all
one, guys.
next
Bye.
time. Take care. Bye.